Welcome into UCCU Ballpark, the site of the 2022 5A Baseball Championship Series on KSLSports.com. Commentary brought to you by Game Night Live Rewind. I'm Dusty Lister. So glad to have you along with us. As always, we're brought to you by Heidemann and Associates and Western Governors University. Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series, and we're hoping for a great day today. We got a little cloud cover today. We should be ready to rock and roll. Lehi took game 1. If they win this one, they are the 5A champions. If Olympus wins, they'll be playing this afternoon at 4:30. On the hill for the Lehi Pioneers is Maddox Madsen. It'll be a lot of fun to watch Maddox. And leading things off for Olympus is Mick Paul, the center fielder for the Titans. He had quite the day yesterday as he looks at ball 1. Mick had the triple to deep left center field. Got on base every plate appearance until the 7th inning as he looks at ball 2. Maddox is obviously the son of Eric Madsen, the legendary UVU coach. In fact, there's only been 2 UVU managers of the baseball team because Eric took over this program when it was UVSC, and he stepped away last year. He's got 3 sons playing on the Lehi Pioneers as Maddox threw 3-1 pitch is lifted out of play, or probably 2-2. And behind Maddox on the infield, Braden Willis at third, Jake Olson at short, Gwynn Madsen at second, and Jackson Brousseau, the starting quarterback, at first. Mick Paul takes that 2-2 off the hands. McGuire comes over, got it. So Guy takes care of him on the 4-3 putout, and there's one away. Nice job by Maddox getting in on the hands there of Paul. We talked about how well he hit the ball. Mick going to LSU, so the future Tiger is down for the first down of the inning, and that's going to bring up Ashton Johnson. He is the starting pitcher for the Titans today, their best pitcher. And man can go play at the College of Southern Idaho, one of the best junior college programs in the country. This side of Slick, and he looks at ball 1. Of course, Maddox was a starting quarterback for 3 years at American Fork. As that 1-0 pitch swung on and missed, strike 1. Wasn't going to see a lot of time on the baseball team. Eric, after leaving UVU, is a teacher at Lehi, so the transfer rule was actually quite simple, and they live within the Lehi boundary. Came over to Lehi to be able to play his senior year with his brothers. As that pitch misses, 2 balls and 1 strike. And the American Fork Cavemen and his battery mate in the football team, Fisher Ingersoll, will be going in game 2 after this one. As that breaking pitch is in there for a called strike 2. And the 2-2 from Madsen. Shot foul the left side, and we'll do it again. Ashton Johnson yesterday singled in the first and the third. He had an RBI single in his second at bat in the third, and an RBI single in the 5th. Quite the productive day for Ashton Johnson. The 2-2 back through the box. McGuire nearly Ozzie Smith that ball up the middle. But that'll be an infield single as Johnson is aboard. It's fun. All the Madsen boys are named after baseball players for obvious reasons. Their brother Mick is here at UVU. And, of course, you got Maddox. He went by Mad Dog for the longest time. I remember seeing his stats his sophomore year and seeing Mad Dog Madsen. It's like, who would name their kid Mad Dog? And then I realized his name is Maddox. Of course, the nickname of Greg Maddox. And then you got McGuire. And then Mays, the freshman, also on the team. As Jacob Faust looks at strike 1. And try to keep it close over there at first. Of course, the Faust. Want to keep the hit and run, everything there. Keep the double play ball in order as well, as that one is in there for called strike 1. Or probably strike 2. Been quite the week this week. Mine's a bull moose at times. So there was the 0-2 from Madsen, breaking ball, 1 to burn. Boston Bingham on the dish. Lehi in their blacks, purple, and a little bit of gold. Did not realize that Lehi had gold in their color scheme at Lehi. Chop back to Madsen. To short on the first. Oh, not in time. Olympus fans are saying, where was that on the third out yesterday? Jake Olson nearly had the turn there. So fouls to board on the fielder's choice. And the 4-6 put out on Johnson. If you didn't see that third out from yesterday, that beautiful play by Olson. Sliding backhand, popped up and got the throw in time, just in the nick of time. To close out game 1 yesterday. It was a classic. As Madsen starts off Luke Affleck with a breaking ball. Get on top, stay on top. What the pitcher's got to do. And if you can throw that breaking ball for first strike, keep the hitters off balance. The 0-1, a little off speed as well, 0-2. So Faust, close over there at first base. The 0-2 from Madsen lifted well into left field. It's a little short bench, not going to carry enough into the overcast sky. That'll do it for the top of the first inning. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and 1 left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Lehi coming to the plate. You're watching the 2022 5A Championship Baseball Series on KSL Sports. Bottom of the first inning, and Lehi coming to the plate. Welcome into Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series. Dusty Litster with you. As always, brought to you by Heidemann Associates and Western Governors University. Make 2022 the year of you. Go to Western Governors University at wgu.edu and fill out your chance to get a $1,000 scholarship to Western Governors University. Your scholarship, your choice, your own pace, and your own time. Western Governors University, wgu.edu. Make 2022 the year of you. On the bump today for the Olympus Titans, there's going to be Ashton Johnson. Been told he's their best pitcher by multiple people, including our 5A Player of the Year in the basketball season, Jack Wistersill. Actually, matter of fact, he was Mr. Rewind on the 5A Player of the Year. And now we'll start with McGuire Madsen. Goes by Guy. If I call him Gwyn, I'm going to apologize. Mentally, I just see it as Gwyn. So I already apologized to Jessica, his mom, Mama Madsen. And, of course, I always mention the Madsens with the Bi-Carbon County connection. Eric was the longtime coach at CEU when little Dusty was coming up. Went to all his camps. Love Eric Madsen. One of my favorites. As that pitch is in there. And now we're going to see differences in home plate umpires. You watched yesterday. I always talk about you have a mystery box corner. It tends to happen. So you see that ball on the outer part of the plate. That was a ball all last night in both games. McGuire hits that one on the screws, but right at the shortstop. And Madsen retired for the first out. I know there's always the umpires tends to be any officiating, a little bit of controversy. But when you go back and slow it down, you actually see our umpires done a great job this week. And the only thing you ask is that they're consistent. We'll see where we are on that now inner half to the right-handers. That pitch well off the plate. To the plate now, the shortstop, Jake Olson. He was a starting pitcher last night in Game 1 of the series. Looks at the bender for strike 1. Jake pitched until the sixth inning. When McGuire came on, and Jake got a no decision. As McGuire got the wins, that pitch was up. 2 balls and a strike to Jake Olson. It was 1 for 2 and a run scored. 2 runs scored. Leaves that one up, so the count now 3-1. Put it in the box here at 3-1. And it swings through that one. Okay, don't get cheated on 3-1. You're going to unload. Come out of your shoe tops. And he did there. So now the count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And he misses inside, and there'll be a 1-out walk for Jake Olson. As that'll bring up the first baseman, Jackson Brousseau. Our 5A Offensive Player of the Year in the football season, the state championship quarterback, and the future CSU Ram. When he announced that, I texted him. I was like, your job is to make sure that everybody in Fort Collins forgets who Alex Van Pelt is, or Bradley Van Pelt is. So if you're going to go, remove all memory of Bradley Van Pelt. And there's a called strike 1. And, of course, he said he has nothing but love for the former Ram and Bronco, Bradley Van Pelt. It's amazing. When you see Jackson on the football field, he looks pretty big. And then you get close to him in person, he's really big. And then you see him on a baseball field, he's extremely big. He's got a heck of an arm, too. Throws a beautiful ball. And that ball lifted out of play. And I just love that he plays multiple sports. Absolutely love it. Also love the LSU look to these unis. Just took me 1 second to kind of pick up on that. Both teams want to be back in black today and Championship Saturday. Hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day weekend, and all those seniors who graduated this week, congratulations on the first step of adulthood. The 0-2 misses up. You're so patient at the plate. 3 walks and a run scored last night. Went down on strikes once. He finds himself in a 1-2 count. Chops that one foul and spoils the pitch from Johnson. I can tell you, it's fun to watch the evolution of Olympus baseball. Played against Olympus. I coached against Olympus in the summers for a lot of years. And to see where this program has been in the last 6 years, Harrison Creer and crew had that great season undefeated. They had lost in the first round of the state tournament, made it all the way to the championship game against Jordan, if I remember right, at the top of my head. And to see where it's been consistently since then, it's just been awesome to watch. It's been a basketball school forever. Had some football years, Lance Rice and crew, and Coach Aaron White has done a good job with the football program. But to see it also be a baseball program is awesome. And now the 2-2 back to the screen. And, of course, I'm all people watching this because I've done swimming now for 5 years. It's also a swimming school. Connor Van Brocklin and Evan Van Brocklin, the All-American swimmer, going to go to the University of Utah. And that swim team, the most points ever in the championship swim meet. They ran away, swam away with the boys' championship. That ball lifted down the right field line toward the bullpen. And we'll do 2-2 again. But we cap off our week here. 65 games of Game Night Live Rewind. Boys and girls lacrosse. Dane locked that down, did an amazing job. Alex Tumulip lives on in digital infamy with what he did in the 6A and 5A, 6A boys championship soccer matches. That Harriman win with 4 seconds left. I mean, unreal. And, of course, my JT Wisterstill's been here at UVU all week long in the 5A tournament. I've had 6A at BYU as they're going to keep them close over there at first. But we couldn't do it without a terrific crew. Vince Francis handles all the camera guys. I try to make sure we got people on the mics. And they'll snap over to first. Try to keep them close, especially show that early movement. And I love, so many times in high school baseball, you get a left-handed pitcher, and coaches get a little worried for whatever reason. I love seeing the move, and that was close on a balk there. Yeah, absolutely got him. He did not come to a complete pause. Remember, he's got to come completely set. There's got to be a full beat, and he's got to come home. So advance the runner to second base. Brousseau with a chance to pick up a ribeye here. We had a balk last night, another lefty. This is the third left-hander Olympus has thrown at Lehi in the 2 games. And called strike 3. Painted the outside corner. He got the Glavin corner on that one. And it's 2 down. Beautiful pitch from Ashton Johnson. Mentioned they threw Creer at start yesterday, and then brought in Kinnersley, who I thought did a spectacular job, inherited a 6-1 game, and Lehigh bats were going. And he was able to hold them down for the most part yesterday. And now Ashton Johnson. And Maddox, did he offer? I believe he did. He did. You heard me talk about it. The funniest thing about baseball that defines everything, there is no definition. I haven't gone through the Activity Association book, or pardon me, NFHS book. There is no definition of a check swing. To quote Ted Lasso, you know it when you see it. And Maddox looks at strike 2 on the outer half. So he is getting that Glavin corner. So no balls and 2 strikes. The starting pitcher duel. Ashton got a single off Madsen last inning. Madsen looking to respond and pick up a run. The 0-2 hit sharply to second. Nicely played. And on to first. Nicely done there by Tanner Jenkins. And Lehi gets one aboard. Can't push him across as we go to the top of the second inning. It's 0-0. You're watching Game 2 of the 5A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. And welcome back into UCCU Ballpark, home of the UVU Wolverines. Dusty Litster with you here on Championship Saturday, wrapping up the high school sports season. I hope you've enjoyed our first full year on KSL Sports, as that was in there for a called strike. Leading off for Lehi is the catcher Corbin Sanchez as he looks at ball 1. And the 1-1 swung on for strike 2. Both these teams had offense going yesterday. They did get some assists from the defense. That's the thing, got to put the ball in play and make them defend the ball. As that one's bounced, you're going to hear me things you hear me say all the time. Can't defend walks. So pitchers pitch to contact, especially when you're working on a pitch count. I don't think they're worried about it today. Final day, last games of the year, can't hold anything back now. As that one back into the screen, 2-2. It'll be interesting. I didn't get a chance to talk with the Olympus coaches, but I know double elimination time, that's really what we're in here, is double elimination situation. You're talking about, hey, got to win the game I'm in. Whatever arms I got to throw to get to game 3, I'm going to throw them. And I'm curious how long leashes have been, or will be, as Madsen gets Sanchez to go down on strikes. It is all week this week. I know he's at 6A. I mean, Riverton has not thrown a relief pitcher all week long. And they've gone complete games everywhere. Coach Applegate's allowed them to work out at jams. I mean, Major League managers don't get that luxury. So I'm just curious how long leashes will be today. For Lehi, they've got a game to work with. You always want to end it and not let the team get momentum. I'm just curious how long leashes will be as Godfrey looks at ball 1. The 1-0 finds the Maddox corner. Evens the count of 1-1. Of course, Maddox named after Greg Maddox, the Hall of Fame pitcher. Ooh. Missed down, 2-1. And now one chopped. Madsen comes off the bump. Throw to first, pulls Brousseau off the bag. And Godfrey is aboard with 1 out. Go E1 there on the throwing error. Is Godfrey going to reach? So a man on once again for Olympus. They put 2 on base last inning. Unable to push anybody across or get into scoring position. As that'll bring up designated hitter J.D. Olson. They see a lot of a running game out of Olympus yesterday. I'll tell you, Lehi fans, this isn't a criticism, just an observation, because I listened to the Bountiful game too. They think any pickoff move, they think they got him. They really do. And that one's in there for a called strike. That one fouled out of play, and it's quickly 0-2 to J.D. Olson. And it's amazing to see where Lehi's gone. I mean, they were in my region in 3A my senior year as they throw over to first. And we had some great battles back in the day, Carbon and Lehi. My sophomore year, our season ended at Lehi when Zach Cloward roped a foul ball off of Ryan Avery's back, knocked out our third baseman. As there's a called strike 3, J.D. Olson goes down on strikes, and that is his second K of the day for Maddox. And had a good baseball program, and then Lehi went through the whole limbo, got moved to 4A, then 5A, back to 4A. You had the new school come in at Westlake and then Sky Ridge, but now it seems like all the programs on great footings. They got amazing, amazing coaches. As Tanner Jenkins comes to the plate, the second baseman, you think Ed Larson coaching the football team, every coach in the state of Utah loves Ed Larson. I mean, you think of the great names, Eric Kerr. I mean, we've gone through and did a bunch of stuff with all the coaches around the state, all of them. If you could pick a coordinator to be, if all the coaches would be, I mean, Eric Kerr picked Ed Larson. As there's a snap back over. You got Quincy Lewis, quite frankly, probably the best high school basketball coach in the history of the state. I don't need Bulldog fans to get mad at me. It's just true. Is there. And then Coach Ingersoll here on the baseball team. And he gets Eric Madsen come be a part of it. Madsen, one of the best college baseball coaches in the history of the state. So they're on the right footing with all the right men. The 2-0 going to throw down. Throws on time, but Jolson couldn't take it on the hop. So Godfrey swipes the bag at second. So now runner in scoring position and 2 outs here for Jenkins as he's in a great count at 2 balls and a strike. The championship game, 7-8-9. What can your 7-8-9, the bottom third of your order, can they come through? They did yesterday. Jenkins walked and scored. He reached on an error yesterday. Went 0 for 3 with the run scored. So he fouls that one to the screen. But you think about that third inning, they scored 7 runs. 7-8-9, all got on board and all scored. I talk about if you can get 4 base runners out of your bottom third in a 7-inning game and bridge the top of the order with your bats able to come up with guys on the plate or on the base paths, you give yourself a great chance to win. Because if he can bridge, you're bringing up the future LSU Tiger, Nick Paul, to the plate. The 2-2 wide. Count goes full. Jenkins, the 8-hole hitter. Isaac Hodson on deck. And then the top of the order in Paul. The payoff pitch. Runner goes. That one lifted down the left field line. And he got a chance. Thought that would go to the bullpen, and it doesn't. Coming over to making the grab is Kobe Felix. Ole threatens but can't play to run. We go to the top of the third, probably bottom of the second inning. And we're still looking for our first run. Lehi come to the plate. You're watching the 2022 5A Championship Series on KSL Sports. Bottom of the second inning, Dusty Litster with you. As always, brought to you by Heidemann and Associates. Go to utah.law, find the law office nearest you. You get a free consultation with Heidemann and Associates. Justin Heidemann will take that personally. He's not going to pawn you off on an associate. You let him know that Rewind sent you. Justin, one of my good friends. That one launched out of play. And not just because he's a sponsor. I've known Justin since I was a little kid out in Wellington, Utah. Justin's from Wellington as well, one of my favorite people. So if you need to get your living will and trust set up, he does a flat rate, not going to charge you by the hour. But again, go to utah.law, get a free consultation at Heidemann and Associates. So leading things off is Boston Bingham, the catcher. The 1-1 pitch lifted in the shallow right field. Going to be a can of corn out there for Jackson Godfrey, as Bingham retired for the first out. I'm going to bring up a member of the all-name team, Wack Christensen. Hit a 3-run home run last night. Did Wack Christensen at the top of the first inning. You better be able to handle the bat, the nickname of Wack. And the 0-1 from Johnson. This is inside. The thing Coach Ingersoll did with this team here from Lehi, we were out at Slick last year, didn't see him there, as Christensen dribbles this one to the left side. On the run, pulls the first baseman off the bag. Came charging in, just an errant throw from Jacob Faust. And Wack reaches on the error. And I shouldn't have said dribble. I mean, the ball chopped to the third base side. A little tougher play than I initially said. Be able to get that and come up and throw it. So that'll bring up Evans. The center fielder, Zach Evans, with a runner on and one out. And he does his job, gets the bunt down. Johnson fields his position. And a productive out there for Evans, puts a runner in scoring position. And 2 outs. And 1-3 on the put out. That brings up Colby Felix. Felix came in for Ingersoll, the pinch hit last night. I'm a little surprised I didn't see Ingersoll out there, but Felix comes to the plate. You're going to try to take third. That is noticing what happens at the mound. That's off the movement there from Johnson, as Christensen puts a go-ahead run 90 feet away. That's Coach Ingersoll picking up on the timing there. Johnson falling asleep at the wheel a little bit. Sometimes you got a pitcher come with that long set and a long leg kick. Coaches can pick up on that, so they have little stopwatches. But Wack takes the bag as Felix swings through that one. Evens the count at 1-1. And Felix looks at that one. 2 balls and a strike. And he came in and pinched hit last night in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lined out to second. And now the 2-1. Hit well in the center and get down. Paul comes in and got it. Attaboy by Mick. Able to come in and get it. And that ends the threat. Lehi was close to getting our first run, but they couldn't plate it. We go to the top of the 3rd inning, tied at 0. You're watching Game 2 of the 5A Championship Baseball Series on KSL Sports. Top of the 3rd inning for the Olympus Titans. Going to start in the 9-hole. 9-1-2 due up for the Titans, as this is Isaac Hodson. And Hodson was a clutch bat last night. Remember, he got up in that was a 6-6 ball game, hit a 2-run single to the right side. Pardon me, that was a tie the game at 6. It's a slow one to short. Olsen up with it. Brousseau able to stab it. Great play there by Jackson Brousseau. Kind of take it for granted there. So Hodson retired. Madsen came in the inning having thrown 37 pitches, so you can continue to let him go. Remember, pitchers can throw 110 pitches in one game. If they explain something that was probably never going to happen, but pitchers throw 35 pitches. They don't have to have any rest, so they could pull a pitcher at 35 pitches. They could throw Game 3 if they needed him to. But once he exceeds 35 pitches, he has to have a day of rest. And guys can throw 75 pitches within 2 days. So they'd have 40 pitches if they did that, theoretically, for Game 3 if they needed him. But this brings up Mick Paul, the leadoff man. And Paul chops that one foul. They mentioned Paul going to go to Baton Rouge. He better get used to eating some fried catfish and crawfish etouffee. He can go hang out at Sammy's Restaurant, the best blackened alligator in Baton Rouge. And the 0-2 from Madsen. Breaking ball to the right side. McGuire, Madsen up with it over to first to Brousseau. And now 2 away. As it's 2 groundouts to second base. Madsen's done a nice job with the best bat in the Olympus order. Got him twice to ground out to his brother. That brings up Ashton Johnson, the starting pitcher. McGuire's done a nice job there at second base. Played shortstop yesterday with Olsen pitching, and his brother Mays, the freshman, at second. But Olsen at his position there at short. And a line shot to left field here for Johnson. Going to be cut off, and it'll just be a long single. And that's something to remember. Good job there in left field by Kobe Felix, getting right to the line and be able to get to that ball. As Johnson will come out and the speed-up runner comes on. And I think the biggest thing is Felix did not let it get to the wall. If he did, that's definitely 2. Felix able to cut it off and holds him at first. So Jacob Faust comes to the plate with 2 outs and a runner on. And Faust looks at strike 1. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. A ground ball to the right side. Lehi took game 1, 10-9. So this is a championship game for Lehi, and Olympus trying to keep the season alive. If they win, we'll play at 4:30-ish, depending when game 2 of 6A comes to an end. And the 1-1 chopped to short. Olsen doesn't have time to go. Was trying to decide to go short way. He was going to go short way off the bounce. When he dropped it, he took a peek to see if he could still get there. And both runners are going to be safe on the error. So E6 to Olsen and 2 aboard. That's going to bring up Luke Affleck. And the crazy thing here, Lehi has yet to get their first hit, but they've got 2 errors. That far right column, extending innings, especially here. Walks and errors. We always talk about all the time that baseball coaches are going to die, usually probably on the field, from a heart attack after an error or mostly a walk. As Luke Affleck, the shortstop, steps in, looks up strike 1. Swung on a miss, strike 2. Madsen bouncing right back. Olsen looked at him, saying, "My bad," and it's Madsen's job to come back and have his back. Affleck had an RBI single yesterday. He went 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. And the 0-2 for Madsen, off speed, left side, going to get through, and that's going to bring across the first run of the day. And that's 2 RBIs in the championship series for Luke Affleck. And it was a good pitch by Madsen, got him out on his front foot. But Affleck able to square it up enough to get it through the infield. And Olympus takes the lead, 1-0. And that brings up the catcher, Corbin Sanchez. And a chance to extend it here for Olympus with another run in scoring position. Able to hold off. That ball there ends a streak for Maddox. He'd been ahead in the count at 8 straight batters. And that's why you see that 0 spot until there. And that one swung on a miss, evens the count at 1-1. Get on top, stay on top if you're a pitcher. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sanchez. Put him down on strikes. It is only plate appearance in the second inning. Foul ball, and we'll go to a ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out and 2 on. The infield's back for Lehi, keeping everything front. We go short way up the middle. And at third base, he was telling me, hey, wherever it takes you. As the count now even at 2-2. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Bender swung through and missed. Strike 3. Sanchez down for the 3rd out of the inning, but Olympus plates the first run of the day. As we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, it's Ole 1, Lehi 0. You're watching Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series on KSLSports.com. Top of the 3rd inning, Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series. Olympus leading Lehi 1-0. Remember, Olympus wins. Be back here at 4:30. Lehi looking to claim the state championship right here. Dusty Lister with you. Been a great week of baseball here on Game Night Live Rewind. We got the 6A Game 2 coming up next. That was a classic last night. We had 2 one-run games. Just an absolute blast, amazing atmosphere. And we're a little overcast on Saturday. The crowd's a little smaller. Not overly surprised by that, but hope you're enjoying the stream wherever you are. The count is even at a ball and a strike here to Braden Willis, the 3rd baseman. So 9-1-2 due up for Lehi. And that's in there for a called strike. Called strike 2. And that went off the plate, so 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the first plate appearance here for Willis. And he goes off and fights that one off. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes to the 3rd baseman. And again, staying alive. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. The leadoff hitter of the inning, Braden Willis. Bender, called strike 3. And we've seen so many of the breaking balls breaking late this week. And that one actually did, I think our vantage point broke early, caught the corner of the plate. So the top of the order we go. And Guy Madsen. Where's Guy? Short from McGuire, named after the Oakland A and Cardinal slugger. Of course, only one of the boys, the Madsens, is not a last name, and that's Mick, their brother playing here at UVU. As that one misses inside. Interesting. I know a lot that we talked about this week that, hey, you set up outside, but if it's a strike off the miss the target, it's still a strike. I thought that was there. And now the 3-0 to Madsen. Feeds him, and it's strike 1. And that is ball 4. So 1 out walk. Going to put a man on for the Pioneers. That brings up Jake Olson. And that's in there for a called strike to the starting pitcher. And throw back over to first. And again, try to keep him close. McGuire, he knows how to read a left-handed pitcher from the stretch. Watch that front foot. And that one misses. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And the off speed misses wide, and the count now 2-1. Always kind of interesting. I don't want to nitpick, but you guys got guys at first base. You see that hand coming back, and just young when they're little, and you're teaching them to get off first base, that arm back. I've never understood it. Get out there to be an athlete. Watch that front foot with the left-handed pitcher. It'll tell you everything. As that one misses, 3 balls and a strike. If that front foot crosses, he has to go home. If he kicks straight up, you can hold it. And you still can see his back foot if he's trying a little step back and throw over. I've never understood the fear of the left-handed pitcher in the move, unless it's the Pettit balk. But even then, that ball into left field. Madsen going around second, coming in. And that's a single. Taking second on the bobble and the throw as McGuire Madsen being aggressive on the base paths. I think caused that bobble out in left field. And it's runners on second and third. Yeah, Hodson kind of took a peek there at McGuire. And Madsen able to induce that, but I'm going to give him a single to Olson, taking second on the throw. So now Jackson Brousseau comes to the plate, the chance to put Lehi on top with a base hit. And the first hit of the day for the Pioneers. See, that sparks them. That one in there for a called strike. Brousseau 0 for 1 today. A long at bat with down on strikes. But with 1 out, corners are up, middle's back. Going to freeze on a line drive on the base paths. Got to see the ball through the infield. And this one hit well in the left center field. Played him pretty shallow, still carrying. Mick Paul gets back to get it. A productive out, and we are tied at 1 as Brousseau picks up the RBI with the sacrifice fly. And Gwyn Madsen, that's good base running, plating that run. Olson also takes third on the sacrifice. And that brings up Maddox Madsen with the go-ahead run at third. And the breaking pitch in there for strike one. Johnson's done a nice job. Both pitchers, though the scoreboard will show you and the stat line been fine. They've had their hiccups today as that Bender in there. Of course, Johnson was called for a balk and moved the runners around. Madsen had the throwing error last inning that led to the run for Olympus. But both teams with 2 errors in the first 3 innings. Oh, that goes off the leg of Johnson, and a fortuitous bounce into the hands of the first baseman, Matthew Thomas, as he steps on the bag. And Madsen, what could have been a game-leading go-ahead RBI, leads to the third out. Well, we're tied at 1 as we head to the top of the 4th inning. You're watching Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series on KSL Sports. Top of the 4th inning. 6, 7, 8 coming up for Olympus. As leading things off is Jackson Godfrey looking at ball 1. Godfrey, the right fielder, chops this one to second. McGuire Madsen up with it over to first, and Guy got him. That is the first non-Mick Powell put out there for McGuire Madsen. And I'll bring up J.D. Olson, the designated hitter today for the Titans. As Olson chops or sends one to short, Olson with it, sets his feet and fires it across for the second out of the inning. Olson's going to say, hey, after that third out yesterday, challenge me. As that one kind of checked up right into his glove. Strong throw from Olson. And there's 2 outs. And Tanner Jenkins coming to the plate, the second baseman. And that one's wide. And ball 1. Jenkins flew out to left. And his only plate appearance in the third. Pardon me, in the second. He looks at strike 1. And the 1-1 from Madsen. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And now goes the 3-1. So talking about 7, 8, 9 production on the defensive side. Your pitcher, 1 to 2 runners is all you can handle. You don't want to be walking them as they do here. So a 2-out walk to the 8-hitter. Bringing up the 9. His first trip through the 7, 8, 9. They went 0 for 3. So Hodson looking to bridge to the top of the order for the Titans, but he won't do it. Madsen fields his position and puts him down for the third out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th, tied at 1. You're watching Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series on KSL Sports. Bottom of the 4th inning, Dusty Lister with you here. Game Night Live rewinds coverage of the 2022 5A Championship Baseball Series. Leading off for Lehi is going to be the catcher, Boston Bingham. Bingham hits this one well to center, deepest part of the ballpark. Paul giving chase, not going to have enough. Bounce off the wall. And it's a leadoff double for Boston Bingham. Only the second hit of the day for the Pioneers, and the first one to really square up. A pitch from Johnson. So the leadoff man and the go-ahead run is already in scoring position. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Wack Christensen. And he looks at the breaking ball for ball one. Mentioned yesterday, Christensen hit the 3-run home run in the first inning, got things started for the Pioneers. Looking to come through and give them the lead here. The 1-0 misses off the plate. So 2 balls, no strikes. And that 2-0 pitch hit well to left center field. The deepest part of the ballpark won't hold this one. A 2-run go-ahead home run for Wack Christensen. And it's 3-1 Lehi. When that one left the bat, thought immediately had a chance, but you're the deepest part of this ballpark where it teased toward left center field, and that wall's a little taller. I was curious if it would hold it, and goodness gracious, it did not. They used to have the measurements out there. I don't remember when they took them down. But I'd love to remember how deep that was to left center field, as that brings up Zach Evans. Left center field is from one last time this was open. It might have been updated by then, but 427 feet. Center field's 408. Is this one hitting the right center? Paul giving chase. Goes down to his knees to pull that one in. Nice sliding catch. But if the dimensions hold, that was about a 435-foot home run. To get it over that, not only that, you got to get it, about 10 feet in the air? And that ball was smoked by Wack Christensen. Now Kobe Felix, the left fielder, coming to the plate. Looks at ball one. And slowed down the bat on that breaking ball. Johnson's been outstanding coming into this inning. When we gave up the run last inning, but this had not been really squared up today. But back-to-back hitter is able to do it. As that one lifted out of play, ball and 2 strikes. Got to stay off the barrel of the bat. And Bingham squared him up, and then Wack Christensen living up to the namesake. That one back to the screen. If you name your kid Wack, he better, like I said, better hold up the bargain. Even if it's just the nickname that sticks. And the 1-2 swung through and missed for the second out of the inning. Beautiful pitch on the outer half. And now 2 down as the 9-hitter Braden Willis comes to the plate. And a called strike one. Willis went down on strikes in his first plate appearance. Looking to bridge to the top of the order. And he does. Took that pitch where it was, goes the opposite way, and a 2-out inning-extending single. And if you look about it, it's the second time through the order. They've been able to see these pitches. And solid contact going through it again. You know, the majors, we always talk about them. I would kind of joke about them pulling pitchers. It's the third time through the order. You usually see them come out and get them. as soon as they get into trouble. And back to the top of the order, McGuire Madsen. He chops this one to second. That one's handled cleanly by Jenkins on to first for the third out. But the big one was taken care of by Wack Christensen. A 2-run home run, giving Lehi their first lead of the day as we go to the top of the fifth inning, ending the championship innings right here. 5, 6, and 7 coming up. You're watching the 2022 5A championship. Top of the fifth inning and the top of the order coming to the plate for the Titans as they trail for the first time today in Game 2. And we start with the center fielder, Mick Paul. As the Titans going to have to climb out of this 2-run deficit. As I always call them the 5th, 6th, and 7th, the championship innings. Just like the old school boxing matches, they always call the last 3 rounds the championship rounds. So he looks at strike 1. Mick is ground out to second in both plate appearances. He looks at ball 1. And that one off the plate. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 misses wide. Third time through the order here for Maddox Madsen. And now 3-2. Want to be smart but not nibble here with Paul. And the payoff pitch. Swung through and missed. Tipped it right in the glove. And Paul goes down on strikes. And Maddox Madsen, the senior pitcher, he's going to feel really good. Go up against Paul, and he got him to go 0 for 3 thus far. Imagine we're going to see each other at least one more time here before this thing's all over. If Maddox stays in the game, here's Ashton Johnson. Johnson's 2 for 2 with the run scored. Singled in the first, singled in the third. Takes that 0-1 pitch a little early. Evens the count of the ball and a strike. Olympus 3 hits through 4 innings. And that one is there for a called strike 2, and 2 of those 3 hits are right here with Ashton Johnson. Luke Affleck has the other. The 1-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3. The 5th K of the day for Madsen. In his second inning with 2 Ks. And now a chance to go 1, 2, 3. Feels his own position. Goes through the top of the order. It took care of business. Maddox Madsen getting stronger as the game goes. Go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Lehi looking to extend their lead. They're up 3-1. You're watching Game 2 of the 5A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. Your home for online champions. Bottom of the 5th inning, Lehi leading 3-1, and it's Jake Olson, the shortstop, leading things off, the 2-hitter in the lineup. And he takes ball 1 from Ashton Johnson. Johnson, that was his 70th pitch of the day. Ooh. Talk about, they'll always find a mystery box corner in the outer part of the plate on the right-hander. Been one of them. Or has been the one most consistently today. And the 1-1. Strike 2. Braves fans always get mad. I know there's a lot in Utah because of TBS, but I always thought that's the 90 Braves pitcher's corner right there. That 96 World Series against the Indians. Mercy. And that one hit well in the left field. Got a chance. And it does come off the glove of the left fielder. We'll see if they award a hit or an error on that one. Great job of getting over that ball. Came out of the glove. And a leadoff man is on second. We'll go with my fish on my lefty. And they did give an error. Put on the wrong side of the board. We'll go hit in our book. That's a leadoff double there for Jake Olson. And that's Jackson Brousseau now to the plate. Runner going to go. Again, took that off, and there's a throw to third in time. Yes, got him. Pop time there on the catcher. And Brousseau got to be careful to not have interference. But Olson and that leadoff double erased on the 2-5 putout. Caught stealing. And that was a ball to Brousseau. So 1-0. And in for a called strike. So a ball and a strike to Jackson. He drove in then the game-tying run in the third inning with a sacrifice fly. And looks at ball two. The 2-1. Strike two. One ball and two strikes. And Brousseau, after that last one, you got to fight that one off just foul by a whisker. So count remaining a ball and two strikes. And it's tough as a hitter, and you just it's like it's a grab bag there on a spot. You want to protect, you also want to chase, and the worst thing you want to have is have the called K. So a ball and two strikes to Brousseau. Lifted in the right field. And that'll be an easy one there for Jackson Godfrey. So Godfrey retires before the second out of the inning. And if you just joined us here in this inning, Jake Olson with a leadoff double, then was caught stealing third. They thought they had something on Johnson. And I don't blame Coach Ingersoll going for it either. Been a long move, long kick and stride home. And with a right-handed batter, get a little bit of protection too, but it was a great job on the dish, a pop-up and throw him out by Corbin Sanchez. As Madsen looks at strike one. Madsen hits this one well to the left, but not well enough. And it's a 1-2-3 inning as Isaac Hodson pulls that one in. Great job of Sanchez throwing down a runner. We go to the top of the sixth. Olympus trailing by 2. You're watching Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series. Top of the sixth inning. Dusty Lister with you here. Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series. As Olympus coming to the plate down 2 runs. 4-5-6 coming up for the Titans. We'll lead things off with the shortstop, Luke Affleck. See who lifts that one out of play. Luke had the RBI single in the third that gave Olympus the 1-0 lead in this one. His second RBI of the championship series. Madsen misses up. We're talking about all the success of Olympus boys sports this year. The lacrosse team got to the championship game, lost a heartbreaker to Park City. Park City scored in the final seconds. It was like the 6A soccer championship game. Dane Stewart, a great call on that one. As Dane's really taking control of our lacrosse stuff. Of course, Dane is the voice of Utah lacrosse. He and Tim do a great job together. As that one fouled back to the screen, and the count remained 2 balls and 2 strikes. To the shortstop, Luke Affleck. And the 2-2 drop third strike. And Bingham's throw it to Brousseau for the first out of the inning. You notice I took a minute there. We had a game earlier this week. It was a Fremont Lone Peak game. Strikeout ball to the outside. Base runner rightfully in the runner's lane. Took it off the top of the helmet. Skipped out in the right field. It scored a run, if I remember right. So you always got to be smart and careful when you're throwing down there as a catcher on the outside. And your runners stay in that runner lane. As that one fouled off here by Corbin Sanchez, the catcher. As Maddox continues to get on top of the hitters. First pitch strikes. The future Boise State Bronco, Maddox Madsen. Might be the ugliest turf in the country this side of Eastern Washington, but we'll cheer for Maddox. Carbon County connections and all. Oh, man. I'll call that. That's a tough inside pitch. Oh, tough one there. Ball and 2 strikes. Sanchez can battle out of this. The 1-2 lifted in the left field. Felix coming over, but he's going to get called off. Nicely done and taking control out there by Zach Evans. And I know Coach Ingersoll knows it. With a good baseball family in the Ingersolls, his brother Jared, head coach at American Fork. We've seen some of this go away of who's in charge and who's got what. Center fielder and shortstop get to any ball, it's theirs. And then it's outside man in. A great job there by Evans. He had a read on it. It's his ball. And took control of that as that's in there for a called strike 1. And I'm going to foul out to strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Jackson Godfrey. Had 1 to burn there for Madsen. Maddox done a great job. Got into trouble there in the 3rd, give up the run, bounce back, faced 4 hitters in the 4th, put him down order in the 5th, got a chance to do it here in the 6th. Only 2 at bats left here for Olympus. They're down to their last 4 outs to extend this series. That one misses wide. Count goes to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and nobody on. Into center field, Evans ranges over and pulls it in. And another 1-2-3 inning for Maddox Madsen. Go to the bottom of the 6th inning and a 2-run lead for the Pioneers. You're watching Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series on KSLSports.com. Bottom of the 6th inning. And Boston Bingham leading things off. Just like the 4th inning, 5, 6, 7 due up for Lehi. And this was the productive part of the lineup. Bingham led things off with a double, the deep center field, and was followed up by a 2-run jack by Wack Christensen. And that's a difference here. They put Lehi up 3-1. Johnson remaining out there in the 6th inning. And a big swing from Bingham. Not getting cheated on that one. So Bingham 1 for 2 today with a run scored. And the 1-1. This one hit well to right field. That wall comes in, but nice job arranging back and making the catch, Jackson Godfrey. I keep mentioning that fence just because, it comes so sharp to the corner. You could never quite tell if it's get all the way to the wall or not. We saw that last night in the 6A championship. Barton, the young man from Riverton, nearly tied the game up. The ball started drifting towards center field. Anywhere else on that wall, it's probably gone. And that brings up Wack Christensen, who looks at strike 1. 2 home runs in the series for Christensen. 5 runs driven in. And he looks at strike 2. And the 0-2 pitch. And this in the left center field is off the end of the bat. Did not square it up. And the easy one there for Mick Paul for the second out of the inning. You see it about a 16th of an inch difference from that ball being a gapper and then being a lazy fly ball that caught the outside part of the barrel. Just missed it. That's why it's called the sweet spot. It's not wide. So now Zach Evans, the center fielder, looking to extend the inning, looks at strike one. And now the 0-1 from Johnson. Swung through, strike two. Evans sacrificed in the second and flew out to center in the fourth. Stays live 0-2 with the foul ball. Last up, coming up for Olympus, trying to keep it a two-run game. This potent offense has been held down by Maddox Madsen. And the 0-2, Johnson had one to burn, left it wide. But Madsen gave up the run in the third, and he has been spectacular since. And the 1-2, swung through and missed. Strike three as Johnson keeps it a two-run game. Final inning of the 5A season, or can Olympus force the bottom of the seventh? Last chance for the Titans. You're watching Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series. Top of the seventh inning, the championship inning here for Lehi. Looking for their first championship in baseball since 1980. They won it in 1978 and 1980 when they were 2A, back when there were only 4 classifications. And the leadoff man, 7-8-9-2 up. Olson, a little flare into short, or probably shallow center field, going to fall in. Great effort there by Olson. And J.D. Olson with a leadoff single. And the tying run comes to the plate in the form of Tanner Jenkins. And pinch runner coming in for the Titans. Didn't see the number. Might have been number 30, Graydon Gassick. So now the second baseman, Tanner Jenkins. Madsen looking to go the distance here. Going to try to bunt him over, and Willis up with it. Over to Brousseau. Give up the run to put a run in scoring position. A little surprised by that down 2 to give up an out. And now to the 9-hitter, Isaac Hodson. Mick Paul due up behind him. That's in there for a called strike. The infield's back, keeping everything in front because the runner at the plate would be the tying run. And the 0-1 misses wide. And for the base runner, Gassick got a freeze on a line drive. Have to see the line drive through, and the ball to the left side, got to see it through and stay. And now the 1-1. Strike 2. Madsen has settled down since giving up the run in the third inning. He's only allowed 2 base runners in the last 15 at-bats. That one fouled down the right field line. And we'll do it again in a ball and 2 strikes. He had the RBI single back in the third inning for Luke Affleck. And after that, the first base runner, her first hit, was J.D. Olson's hit. That one back through the box. Olson in around third, coming home. Here's the throw. Wisely holds up, and he's retreating back to third. Terrific throw by Zach Evans. And great base running there by Gassick. The pinch runner, he was being waved home. He saw the throw, and he retreated. The Hodson with a clutch hit. And now to the top of the order, as we're going to have a mound visit from Eric Madsen. Well, you know what's going to happen next. You're watching Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series. Game time runs on first. We'll be right back. So Maddox is going to stay in the ball game as we go to the top of the order, and Mick Paul. I don't blame him. Mick Paul's 0 for 3 today against Maddox Madsen. The go-ahead runs at second, or probably the tying runs at first. Go-ahead run at the plate with 1 out. And where he's been able to get him to ground out to the right side twice. A double play ball claims the championship for Lehi. Madsen, quick throw to first. Yes, the other thing, I imagine to see that third to first pickoff move, trying to catch him on an early steal. But with Mick Paul at the plate, I think I'd be holding everybody. Johnson up next. Misses. 2 balls, no strikes to Mick Paul. I mentioned grounded to second in the first and in the third. Went down on strikes in the fifth. You can erase all of that with a big one here. The 2-0 misses up. Ashton Johnson's on deck, and he is 2 for 3 today. (3-0). Strike 1. Madsen have to come all the way back. 3-1. Mick Paul got to put it in a box. Not getting fooled, not getting cheated on the 3-1 pitch. I think I'd still throw a bender if I'm Madsen. The 3-1. And the count full. They mentioned Mick Paul going to go play at LSU, one of the best baseball programs in the history of college baseball. This is a good baseball player at the plate. Full count and 1 out. Lehi fans are feeling it. The payoff from Madsen. Hit well into right field. It's going to drop in. Runner going to go around second, coming into third. And the throw will be cut off. Mick Paul comes through with an RBI single. And the game time run is 90 feet away. Struck him out on that pitch in the 5th inning, getting inside on him. That time Paul let it get a little deeper. That came more toward the plate. And hit it well. And it's 3-2. So runners on the corners and 1 out. And Ashton Johnson, the pitcher at the plate. Remember, Madsen can step off the rubber. Doesn't have to throw to first. If you step back, you become an infielder. Heard a couple people yelling balk. That's not a balk. Again, the game time run at third. Johnson's 2 for 3 with the run scored today. Hits this one well on the left. That could score the run. The catch is made by Felix. No chance to get the runner, and we are tied at 3. The 2 best bats in the Olympus lineup got the job done. 7, 8, 9 gave you 2 runners, and they both scored. That's why I always mention that. 7, 8, 9, and what it can do in these games. You want 4 base runners out of 7, 8, 9 in a 7-inning game. It always sets you up. And they've come through here. Ashton Johnson looks at ball 1. Or pardon me, Jacob Faust looks at ball 1. And that one misses up. after not giving up a hit since the third inning. 3 hits in the top of the 7th. Surrendered by Madsen. And 2 runs. Big swing by Faust. The count goes to 2-1. Bowhead runs at first. Faust reached on a fielder's choice, reached on an error, and grounded out. As he evens the count, 2-2 with that foul ball. Again, Olympus clinging to hope to force a game 3. The 2-2. And the count is full. Luke Affleck on deck. He has an RBI single in this one. They look for the runner to go here on the payoff pitch. He's going to be moving. Ball in the outfield. Could score a run from first. And the runner goes. The 3-2 lifted in the shallow right field. And that will be taken easily by Wack Christensen. You want drama? We've got drama. 2 runs at the top of the 7th inning. Lehi coming to the plate looking to win the state championship. Olympus trying to stop him and force extra innings. The bottom of the 7th coming up. You're watching Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series on KSLSports.com. And welcome back into UCCU Ballpark. Bottom of the 7th inning. Lehi needs 1 to take their first baseball championship since 1980. Olympus trying to force an 8th inning after they plated 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th. For Lehi, they scored 2 runs in the 4th inning on the two-run home run since Wack Christensen. Since then, they've only had 1 base runner. In the last 8 of the last 9 batters have not reached 8-9-1 due-up. It's Cody Felix leading things off, the left fielder. And he looks at strike 1 as Aston Johnson remains on the hill. Strike 2. Felix 0 for 2 on the day. Remember, pitchers can go 110 pitches. We were in the mid to late 90s going into the 7th. And they can finish the batter once they hit 110. Strike 3. 1 away. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And I'm Johnson. He's not messing around, throwing breaking balls. 8-9-1. Here comes Braden Willis. And that's in there for a strike 1. And the 0-1 from Johnson. Bender misses up. Late in games, those legs, that's what throws that curveball. You get down the hill, get your arm on top. So the fastball here, late hitters might be the best bet. Quinn Madsen, the leadoff man, up next. The 1-1. Back through the box. 9-hole hitter comes through, and the game-winning championship run is aboard. And leadoff man, McGuire Madsen, coming to the plate. You know, I said his name wrong once, and it won't leave me. Guy Madsen. I just want to say Gwyn so bad. But here we go. Top of the order. McGuire Madsen to the plate, runner on first, and 1 out. Chopped down the first base line and foul. Guy is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored back in the 3rd. Bender. 1-1. His job's got to move that runner to second. Corner up, middle's back, playing to the double play ball. Got a freeze on the line drive on the bases. First base side, foul. Just foul. Long-time umpire there on first base. And my stance is always, if they call it fast, I'll give it. We had it last night, that plate to plate, and then when we reviewed it on that bunt chance there from Riverton, it was probably the correct call. So down to his last strike. The 1-2 lifted out of play, and we'll do it again. And that's fortunate for Olympus. That may have been the game-ending ball. That ball would have gone to the bullpen. That's a long run for anybody to get to. One ball and 2 strikes to Guy Madsen. Fouls it off down the left field line. Again, game 2 of the 6A championship series was scheduled for 1:30. And now the 1-2. And the shallow right field, that's going to get down. Falls in. Rounding second, going to third is Braden Willis. And the championship run is 90 feet away. Guy Madsen comes through with the single. And a sacrifice fly will do it for Lehi. There comes Jake Olson. Paul comes in. You see they get the plate, but the job for Olson is get the ball to the outfield. So runners on the corners and 1 out. And they're going to give up the bag at second. A little surprised at that. Keep the double play ball in order. But they have everybody up on the infield here. 1 ball, no strikes to Olson. The 1-0, just fisted that one off. And they count even at a ball and a strike. Biggest thing for Johnson, focus on the guy at the plate. If you take care of him at the plate and keep him at the plate, don't have to worry about the guy at third. Don't want to bounce home the championship. The 1-1. To short. Oh, what a stab. What a play at short. Luke Affleck able to go down and backhand that liner. Now the middle's a retreat with 2 outs. What a play. And now Jackson Brousseau, the state championship quarterback, steps in, the first baseman. Base hit ends it. Johnson, strike 1. Madsen on deck. If it gets there, base open at first. And an 0-1 count. The 0-1 fastball misses. Johnson still got a pitch to Brousseau. He can't just get boring, straight fastballs. Too good of a hitter. And you got enough power. You don't want to generate it for him either. That's an interesting spot for a pitcher, and Johnson's gone a long ways here. The legs got to be tired. They want to bounce a breaking ball and bring home that run. You want to make him swing it. You also don't want to just give him the power either. The 1-1. Breaking ball, strike 2. Will there be an 8th inning? Brousseau down to his last strike. The 1-2. Ooh, goes 2-2. Johnson wanted it. He geared up on that one. He's got to be close to his 110 limit. This could be his last batter. If he finishes batter, say he walks him with 109, he can pitch to Madsen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on in the championship run at third. Misses up, counts full. Again, important to remember, the base open at first. You don't want to give them anything here. 3-2. Bender just stays alive. What a pitch. I love the guts, but that's my feelings. Hey, 3-2, we're not piping this thing. You still got a fresh batter behind him. He'd have outs at every base. That base open gives Johnson the ability to throw to the corners. He does not have to go middle. So here we go. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. The payoff again. Lifted in the right. It's a long ways to go. And able to squeeze it. Jackson Godfrey goes over. Lehi was 90 feet away with 1 out. And they get out of the jam. The line drive from Olsen stabbed on the infield. And Brousseau flies to right. And there will be an 8th inning. Game 2 lives on. We're back with the top of the 8th. We're heading to extras in Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series. Top of the 8th inning, Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series, and our new pitcher is Zach Evans. Zach comes in from center. Matson goes to the dish. As we're 4-5-6 due up for the Titans, and leading things off is Luke Affleck. And Affleck launches this one to left center field! Off the wall! And it's a leadoff double for the Titans. Go-ahead runs in scoring position. For just a moment, or longer than a moment, thought that ball might get up and get out. But Affleck stays in the park. Left field starts at 305 and goes to 427. So that brings up Corbin Sanchez, the catcher. And how about the Olympus bats? We're talking about their last hit was in the 3rd inning until the 7th. They got 1, 2, 3 hits to plate the 2 runs they needed to extend the game. They're down 3-1. And now the leadoff double. And a snap to second, and he's back in time. He was there. Close and a great move. McGuire, Matson, he and Olsen worked him well. And Affleck just got back. He gave a little love there to McGuire, too. I'm going to guess, because Maddox took a timeout there, I think he might have put that together. So what, baseball kids are different. When your dad's been a lifer in the game, their baseball IQ's high. But Sanchez on the day, he's yet to reach. Down on strikes twice, flew out to center back in the 6th. Could come through and put Olympus ahead 4-3. A chance to extend this to a Game 3 this afternoon. And how about the bunt coverage shown from Lehi? As Sanchez fouls that one off. And that's going to take another quick timeout. Hey, if you're not on the same page as Evans, there's no reason to go ahead and put down the boring old number 1. Make sure you're right. And now the 0-1 misses up and in. So 1 ball and 1 strike to the catcher Sanchez. And bounce to the plate. Count goes to 2 balls and a strike. For Olympus, trying to keep this alive to send us to a game 3. Runner got a freeze on the line drive. Going to get doubled off, and also doesn't have to run on contact either. Ground ball left side. No, he's in the goal. You got to plunk him. So the first 2 are aboard. Oh, Uncle Mo. He's wearing the Ole green at the moment. And that brings up Jackson Godfrey. As Eric Madsen come take a little stroll out to try to calm down Evans and get into situational stuff. So we'll take a quick break. You're watching Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series. They'll come to the plate, the right fielder, Jackson Godfrey. Godfrey reached on an error in the second. And grounded out and then flew out in his last 2 at-bats. Going to show bunt and got it down to the right side. Perfectly done. Double peel on the bunt coverage. And now 2 runners in scoring position for the Titans. A beautiful bunt there by Godfrey. So 2-4 on the put out. And now J.D. Olson coming to the plate. And look, 7, 8, 9 have been productive. They were productive last inning. Remember, Olympus was down 3-1 in the top of the 7th inning. 7, 8, 9 due up. All that happened is Olson led off with a single. Sacrifice bunt from Jenkins moved him to second. And then Hodson came through with the base hit that put the 2 runs on. And then Mick Paul pulled him within 1, and then sacrifice fly from Johnson tied the game. So 7, 8, 9 got 2 guys on board and a productive out as well. Can't get any better from the bottom third of your order than that. And they got a chance to put Olympus up 2 runs if they can come through in the next 2 outs. Infield's up for Lehi. Ooh, dangerous throw from Madsen. Got him at third! Oh, what a throw! Caught Affleck napping at third. And not only that, crashing from third, Willis able to pull that in and get the tag. And the coach going to come out and appeal, but and our vantage point isn't the greatest. And I can understand the frustration from Olympus, but and I don't think he could tell from the dugout if usually the argument there is you're going to end a championship game or that way. If he's out, he's out. If he sees he's out, he's out. No matter the situation. But what a throw from Madsen and a better tag from Willis. So 2 outs and a runner on second base for Olson in a 1-0 count. And the unfortunate thing is that ball got the third. That Madsen didn't throw it in left field. If he throws in left field, both runs are going to come in. Well, how about this? The 3 outs that Olympus has had in the last 2 innings have moved runners. 2 of the 3 have removed runners in scoring position. Well, 3 of the 4 have moved runners in scoring position. That's the first non-productive out, the pickoff at third. And the bender in there from Evans. We talk about Uncle Mo. He's a fickle guy. He's wearing those 50-50 jerseys at the moment. Ball and a strike. Here to Olsen. Bender, yes. Snap down to second. Safe. There is no way in the world he's calling him out unless that's just both arms are pinned under his chest. And he tags him there. 50-50. I didn't think he's calling him out. The 1-2. Outside and count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. What a day. What a game. Drama, intrigue, a little bit of controversy, and some big-time at-bats, a couple of home runs. Having a lot of fun. The game 2. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Called strike 3. No outs, runners on second and third, and they get out of the jam. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning in Game 2 of the 5A Championship Series. UCCU ballpark is bumping right now. Bottom of the 8th inning, Lehi and Olympus tied at 3. Lehi with a chance to take home the championship. Man, we've had some crazy situational baseball in the last inning, the 7th and 8th. It was a 3-1 game in the top of the 7th. Olympus scored 2 runs, tied at 3. Lehi had the championship run at third base. Couldn't get him across with 1 out. And here we go. Maddox Madsen, Boston Bingham, and Wack Christensen due up for the Pioneers. There's Jackson Park, the relief pitcher. And Madsen offers it the first one. That's going to be an infield single. So once again, championship run aboard for the Pioneers. Park replaces Ashton Johnson, who went a complete 7 in a no decision. Brings up Boston Bingham. The designated hitter started on the dish today with Madsen. And Park gets the outer part of the plate for strike 1. Bingham doubled off the center field wall and scored back in the 4th on the 2-run home run from Wack Christensen. And that one misses. And with the big bat, obviously not going to take it off his shoulder here. Third fielder up on the grass on the 1-1. Bender misses. 2 balls and a strike now to Bingham. Flew out to right in the 2nd and flew out to right in the 6th. But he crushed that ball back in the 4th inning. Wanted to see if they could catch Madsen napping over there at first. And the 2-1. Rocket to the short. Taken on the unassisted to first and got the double play. Luke Affleck with the 6-3 DP. The pitcher's delight. And there's 2 away with Wack Christensen coming to the plate. And Christensen, as we mentioned, has every bit of ability to end this thing right here. Hit a 3-run home run yesterday in Game 1. Hit a 2-run shot about 435 feet to left center field. Back in the 4th inning, looks at ball 1. And I dare say that I would be, hey, just put him on. Just mess around with him, pitch him away, off speed, leave him. Don't worry about putting the game-winning run on first. If he can end it from the plate on a middle fastball. 1-0. A little breaking piece finds the zone. Bottom of the order for Lehi has 1 hit. And the 1-1. Oh, he plunked him. Got it done anyway, just the hard way. Just making sure he's got to wear some ice between, either tonight with the championship or nursing it up for the 4:30 game. So the game-winning run on first. And now the 7-hitter, Evans. Well, and also the pitcher. So 7, 8, 9 now coming to the plate. Evans, Felix, and Willis are due up unless there's a pinch hitter. Evans is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. Called strike 1. And I love what Christensen's doing. All that movement over there. And Park trying to hold him at first. Going to throw over, trying to catch him in that little hop. Christensen give him a little game. But if I'm in the dugout there, Olympus, hey, we're not worried about first. Let's take care of the guy at the plate. No reason to throw that ball up the line and put him at second. The 0-1, runner goes. Pop time, not in time. And Christensen swipes the bag, and now the game-winning run's on second. Base hit would bring home a championship to Lehi. But again, if I'm in the Olympus dugout too, put on both hats, say, hey, the out's at the plate. We're fine. Take care of him there. Especially up 0-2. 1 to burn, up 0-2. Fastball misses inside. There goes into center. Christensen rounds third. Here comes a throw from Paul. It's not cut off, not in time. For the first time since 1980, the Lehi Pioneers bring home a baseball state championship. Let it roll at Roller Mills. The 0-2 pitch was called for outside. It crawled back, caught a ton of the plate. And the pitcher, the relief pitcher, Zach Evans, comes through with a game-winning RBI single. And Lehi takes the 5A Championship Series 2-0 over the Olympus Titans. What a fun 2 games. 10-9 in Game 1, 4-3 in extras in Game 2. The most unfortunate thing is that there's not a Game 3, but it comes down with a base hit. And both pitchers with quality starts in both days. I mean, just crazy. Crazy fun. This is what it's all about, and the celebration from the Pioneers. What a run to the championship for Lehi. Coach Ingersoll starts off what he hopes is a great day for the family. His brother coming up next in the 6A championship, Eric Madsen, his first year helping out. And Zach Evans with a game-winning single. Our Heidemann Associates players of the game. We're going to go with Zach Evans. That game-winning single and Wack Christensen, They hit the 2-run bomb earlier in the game to tie the game, put Lehi up 3-1. And Christensen scores the championship run off the single from Zach Evans. And let's talk Olympus just a moment. Mick Paul thought he had that throw. When it first left his hand, I'm like, oh, buddy, here we go. The Mick Paul been an outstanding baseball player at Olympus. Played at LSU. Had the clutch RBI single to pull this game to 3-2. Just a great day. Ashton Johnson pitched a great game. Talk about a quality start. Had the sacrifice fly to tie the game at 3. And the bottom of the order did a great job. And Olympus, another amazing run to a championship game. To have it just not go their way as the drought since 1960 will continue. But I'll wrap up and we'll allow you just to continue to watch the trophy celebration. But an amazing, amazing day for the Lehi Pioneers because it's their day. Just like football, they take home the state championship. Jackson Brousseau in his junior year, 2 titles. He bookends the year with a fall championship in football as a quarterback, a state championship as a first baseman on the baseball team. And Maddox Madsen, it's a family affair with the Madsens. Maddox, McGuire, and Mays with their father Eric on staff bring home a championship with all their teammates. And congratulations to Coach Ingersoll. Such a great job at Lehi. Coach Jason Ingersoll bringing home a title. The Ingersolls are an absolute fixture in Utah baseball. And again, the first title since 1980. Congratulations to Lehi. Again, our final score, Lehi 4, Olympus 3 in extra innings. Congratulations to Lehi, the kings of 5A baseball in 2022. I'll lay out and we'll let you watch the championship celebration. But for Vince Francis, I'm Dusty Litster. Thanks for joining us and for watching Game Night Live Rewind's coverage of the 2022 5A State Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com, your home for online championships. Congratulations to Lehi. Congratulations to Olympus on the run. 6A championship coming up, but enjoy the celebration and enjoy the day. Lehi 4-3, the kings of 5A.
in the first base dugout. Also, American Fork and Riverton, can we get your lineups as soon as possible, please?